It's all over for Xbox. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Big Chetty, and today we're talking about the Xbox Gamer Pass news. And yeah, it's not good. So basically, in a nutshell, Game Pass prices are going up. The online gaming subscription service from Xbox, where it gives you access to a lot of video games and day one access to a lot of brand new video games. And for a long time, it was regarded as the best value in gaming. And for a while, people were correct until a couple days ago. Now, this is where I'd like to argue I don't think there's a lot of value in Game Pass in general for a person like me, even before the price hike. And I'm going to get into that. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. This pretty much just makes it a lot worse. So, why is Game Pass not a good fit for someone like me? Well, that's because I already own a lot of the games. Now, you might be saying to yourself, yeah, but Chetty, if you had a Game Pass subscription, you wouldn't need to buy those games, therefore saving your money. And these days, saving money is good. Who doesn't like saving money? Okay, I see what you're saying, and an excellent point, but I've owned these games for a long time, and Game Pass isn't going to give me my money or time back. I'm not going to get either of those back for buying or playing the games in the past because Game Pass is full of games from early 2000s up until now. So while I appreciate the value in getting day one early access, day one access, whatever you want to call it, to brand new games, the rest of the library to me is kind of useless. So for me, paying $20 or whatever it was, $15 a month for day one access just didn't really make a lot of sense for me. And now that it's going up to $30 US, which is like what? Hold on, I gotta look. How much is that Canadian? How much is $30 Canadian? US Canadian. Hold on. $41.90, $42 Canadian plus tax. You're looking at what? $47, $48, almost $50 a month. Almost $50 a month for day one access? That's what I'm going to do now? Yeah, no shot. I don't think so. I appreciate what Game Pass tried to do in the past with having value like that for gamers. That's important. Value is a hot topic in the gaming community. It has been for a long time, and it will be for a long time, especially with the prevalence of online subscriptions like that. But for someone who owns a lot of the games, mostly digital, but some physical copies, it just didn't make any sense. On top of that, I happen to be a PlayStation player. I'm loyal to the PlayStation brand as much as one person can be loyal to a billion-dollar evil corporation. I have the PlayStation Game Pass or PlayStation Plus Premium or whatever you want to call it. I'll be the first one to admit that the PlayStation Premium Pass, it's not great. In my opinion, to make it better, it needs more games. There is a large collection of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games that could be on there that would make it very valuable to me, especially the PS3 stuff. The PS3 games do not work properly on the Game Pass, and I think they're working on that, but it needs, because you can only stream the PlayStation 3 games. There's something with the way the PlayStation 3 games were made. I don't know the details of it, but I just know the PlayStation 3 games, they can only be streamed. You can't download them, which really sucks. They need fix that and give me some more PS2 classics. Then, in my opinion, it would be worth it. But until then, even that's not great. So yeah, Xbox had the lead there. You can even look at Nintendo with their sort of online Game Pass, which in reality should be the best one because they have a kick-ass library because, well, it's classic Nintendo games spanning from the 1980s all the way into right now the early 2000s with the GameCube emulator. But the GameCube Game Pass or whatever the Nintendo Pass is riddled with problems. The full library isn't there on either of the platform on the NES, SNES, N64, none of the GameCube thing. Just the GameCube one just got announced or just came out, and there's barely any games in there at all. We're being drip fed 30-year-old games, which is kind of insane. I think there's a lot of value in being able to play those older games online with your friends. The fact that you could sit down and play Mario Kart 64 online or Mario Party, the original Mario Parties online with your friends is massively good value. I think that's fantastic. Those games were never meant to be played like that. But I think that's so cool. The problem is Nintendo Internet doesn't work. Their online it lags. Why in the year of our Lord 2025 do their services lag? Yeah, it's gotten better over the years, but it's still not great. So if you had asked me what the best pass was, even though I'm not a fan of it, it still was the Xbox Game Pass. It just made sense for most people. And now with this price hike, I'm not sure who this is for anymore. Because that's a lot of schmeckles to pay every month to get your day one access. Because I don't think the other two, because that's the premium version of it. I don't think the other two get day one access. Unless they change that. Unless they say, all right, yeah, even the small one gets, we're gonna increase the price, but everyone gets day one access. But it's like, why would you buy the premium then? What's the point? You know what I mean? Apparently, a lot of people, so much so, a lot of people felt that this was a bad idea, that they crashed the website, they crashed the subscription canceling part of the website, the Microsoft website, because so many people were pissed off. They're like, that's it, I'm canceling. And apparently there was so much traffic, it crashed the website, which is really insane when you think about it. This is just another event in a slew of poor Xbox decisions. They raised the price of the consoles too a little while ago, which feels really stupid when you're trying to compete. The main thing we know historically that you can do to sell more, or at least try and attempt to sell more consoles than your competitor, is to lower the price. That like when you were behind the PlayStation 5, and probably they're definitely behind the Switch. There's no way the Xbox is selling more than the Switch. The Switch is probably number one actually. But if you're behind number two, if you're behind number two, and you think a price increase is going to help sales, you're insane. You're crazy if you think that's going to help. On top of all that, as a veteran of the third console war, the Xbox 360 versus PlayStation 3 debacle, which I will fully admit that as a PlayStation guy, the Xbox 360 was the better console. It just was. The Xbox 360 had better exclusives. Halo, Left 4 Dead. There was just better games. Plus, you could play everything the PlayStation was playing, like Call of Duty. And Call of Duty, you had the DLC, early access to the DLC back in the day. Back when it mattered. I remember being in school and being like, trying not to just sitting there jonesing at the desktop, trying not to watch new footage of Ascension coming out. I was like, oh my God, this new Zombies map. Oh my God. I'm so stoked. I was late for my bus a couple times because I'm like, I gotta see this map. I gotta see it because I was so hyped. And I knew I was gonna play it for at least another 30 days because of the exclusive deal. Bullshit. I know PlayStation got a deal later, but it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. So now I'm sitting here wondering, who is Game Pass even good for? Like, if it's not good for gamers like me who play a lot of games, because I already own a lot of them, which I think a lot of people are like that. If it's not good for me, then who's it good for? The only thing I can think of is like kids, a younger audience. You know, if your family or you already own an Xbox, you've got Fortnite for free, which is great. That's a great game to play for free. Great multiplayer game that all the kiddies are playing. That's awesome. And then if you have Game Pass, then you've got access to a bunch of games that you've probably never heard of or played. Maybe boomer parents who don't know the subscription is being renewed every month. Maybe they still have Game Pass. And larger content creators that have Game Pass. That's the only people I can think of that are still gonna like seriously own Game Pass. People who don't know, kids and boomers. Because everyone else, I feel like is just too smart. Or maybe the casual gamer. Maybe the casual gamer will. Someone who only plays a couple times a month or something like that. But it just feels like a really stupid decision on top of stupid decision, and Xbox effectively feels like they've lost the console war. This is not the Xbox. This is not the Xbox I knew when I was a teenager. When I was 13, this is not the one I knew. I think it's so chalked for at least the call. I don't think Xbox is going under. Don't take it like that. But the console war itself, this whole idea of shitting on each other's $1 billion console, this little culture war that we're having. If Halo in any shape or form comes to PlayStation, it's over. That's the final nail in the coffin. You lost. We already got Gears of War. Gears of War's on PlayStation. We got it. If Halo comes to Xbox, the console war is over, and they took the L. Because I don't know what's next for Xbox. That would be another point I would like to make too. I don't know what's next for them. They've been making bad decisions. They don't have a lot of games, and you can hate on PlayStation all you want. That's fine. For example, The Last of Us. I'm tired of seeing The Last of Us remade every 2 years, and now that the second one's been remade twice already. I'm not a big Last of Us guy, so for me it's like, hey, whatever, I don't care. Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, the last 5-6 years of PlayStation have been okay. They've been solid. Not fantastic, but solid. What the hell has Xbox done the last 5 or 6 years? You're like, I gotta buy an Xbox to play that. Nothing. Literally nothing. And their games are bleeding over into PlayStation. So that's why I'm saying if Halo comes over, I don't know. There's a rumor that the next Xbox console will have like a Steam built into it, which I think could be very cool. But Who is that for? If this was 2007 or 2008, huge moneymaker, big Boku idea. In 2020, or well, let's say what 20. Let's call it 2027. That's when probably the new consoles are released. 2027. That's 7 years after the PS5 and Xbox Series One or Xbox Series, whatever the hell it's called. The name's stupid too. PlayStation 5, simple. You know what it is. Guess the next one's gonna be called PlayStation 6. You know what? Like it just there seems to be a lot of bad decisions around Xbox, and it's sad to see it. It's sad to see it because they used to be titans in the industry, and on top of that, I think it's bad for me as a PlayStation player because PlayStation has no competition then. Besides Nintendo. And I could go on for hours about why they're shit in the bed. But Xbox, as literally the main competitor to PlayStation, I appreciate as a consumer, I appreciate the crossover. I appreciate the games and like Helldivers coming to Xbox. I appreciate the cooperation between them because that's just better for consumers in general. But the competition just makes better games. And really, at the end of the day, as a gamer, isn't that what we want? We just want better games. Fine, do better, Xbox. I don't know, do better. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Leave a like, leave a comment, talk about it. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section, and I will see you guys soon. Tonight, for more stream. I'm streaming every night tonight. Every night tonight. I'm streaming every night in October on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. Come say hi. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys. Bye, guys.